You're chasing discipline, but you can't seem to find it. You've tried every solution in the book: cold showers, Pomodoro technique, the Eisenhower matrix, but none of that stuff actually works, does it? You'll try them for a few days, but soon you'll quit due to how overwhelming and complicated they are, and then you're right back at square one. Understand that you don't need all those fancy or high-tech tactics to become disciplined. What you need is to master boredom. You see, 99% of the things that will actually move you forward in life are going to be what society would deem as boring. Things like reading or learning, doing focused work, or exercising. And you would only deem something as boring because there are other things that you could do that would bring you more fulfillment and enjoyment. Meaning that these tasks right here, reading, learning, focused work, exercising, they're only viewed as boring because most people feel like there are other things that they could do that will bring them more fulfillment. Things such as constantly scrolling, binging shows, or playing video games all day, because they're getting so much dopamine from doing things like these. When it comes time to do these tasks that actually move you forward, they don't want to do them. If you were to plot dopamine on a chart, right, the stuff that most people do, the mindless dopamine, it would be up here. Like right here, you'd have scrolling, then you'd have video games, binging shows up here. Now, the tasks that actually bring you progress in life, the stuff that actually takes you from point A to point B, your ideal life, is probably going to be down here, right? Reading, some exercise, some focused work, taking a walk, that type of stuff. And the problem is that your dopamine level is normally up here, right? Because you're doing all of this stuff, right? So it'll go up a little bit. Let's get black. It'll go up a little bit, and then it'll crash down to like maybe around right here. And the problem is that when your dopamine is at this base level, you aren't gonna wanna come down here and do the stuff that actually helps you. But alternatively, let's say you cut out all of this stuff, right? Let's say you get rid of all this mindless dopamine, right? And then all of a sudden, your baseline for dopamine is all the way down here. That way, when you're feeling bored, instead of going all the way up here, you'd be like, oh, I actually feel like taking a walk. Oh, I actually feel like doing some focus work. Oh, I actually feel like exercising. And you're going to actually want to do this stuff, and you'll actually do it, and you'll actually begin to take progress towards your goals. So in order to get to this point right here, in order to reset your dopamine down there, you need to do a tactic that I like to call raw dogging life. Now, in order to understand how to do this, you must first understand two different things. Firstly, you need to realize that boredom is focus. Because when you're truly bored, and when I say bored, I don't mean being up here. I mean being bored to the point where you're down here. Your mind is going to begin to focus on the things that actually bring you progress in life. These things up here, because when you're bored, when you're truly bored, when you're just sitting around not doing anything, and your dopamine isn't all the way up here, you're gonna be like, oh, I do have this goal I'm trying to reach. Maybe I'll go and exercise. Oh, I do have this goal I'm trying to reach. Maybe I'll go and get some focused work in. Maybe I'll go work on that so I can get a step closer to that goal, right? You'll start harnessing your boredom in order to become hyper-focused and make significant progress toward achieving your goals. The next thing you have to understand is that discomfort is what leads to growth. Very similar to bodybuilding, right? When you're putting your muscles under stress, they're constantly breaking down. But after you've rested and ate a little bit, your muscles are going to come back stronger because you put them through that discomfort. It allowed them to essentially level up. It allowed them to adapt to the amount of stress that they were getting, and they got stronger. Your discomfort, your boredom is going to work the exact same way. When you're very bored, when you're very uncomfortable, you're like, oh my goodness, I have to do something to get rid of this feeling, and you're going to use that discomfort in order to make yourself grow by doing the tasks that actually bring you progress, by getting disciplined in the things that will bring you closer to your goals. Through discomfort, you will be able to grow and achieve the life that you truly want to live. So, how exactly does one genuinely raw dog life? Well, there are 4 steps that you need to accomplish in order to do that. The first one being that you need to establish an intention. I touched on this a little bit earlier, but you're watching this video for a reason. There's some goal you're trying to accomplish. There's somewhere you're trying to get, a destination you're trying to arrive at. Maybe you're trying to improve your studies. Maybe you want to get right in the gym, or maybe you're just trying to get better in your business. Whatever the case may be, you clicked on this video in order to see some sort of progress in that intention. So what you want to do is establish that intention, set it, and make it tangible. Rather than say, oh, I want to, improve my physique, say, oh, I want to gain, 100 pounds of lean muscle, or I want to lose 10 pounds of fat. Rather than say, I want to improve my studies, say, I want to go from a B average to an A plus average, right? Make it tangible, make it something that you can easily identify that you've accomplished. And once you've done that, the next step is that you want to dopamine detox. Now, this ties into the same point earlier. If your dopamine is all the way up here, you are not at all going to want to do any of the stuff that happens down here. Think about it. Whenever you come up with a very long scrolling session, maybe you're watching Netflix for a few hours, or maybe you're playing video games for a long time and you remember you got to do some homework after. Oh, I got to work on my business a little bit. Oh, I got to go hit the gym. You're just like, I don't really feel like doing any of that. I've been that way too. Whenever I come off a very long scrolling session, I don't feel like doing anything. I'm just lazing around. I'm not productive. And my day is basically over because I wasted it doing all of this stuff down here. But say, for instance, you cut out all of this stuff, you completely get rid of it, eventually your dopamine is going to come all the way down here. And then the stuff that you originally thought was very boring is like, why do that when I can keep scrolling? Oh, why would I do that when I can stay on this game, watch more TV? You're going to be like, oh, that actually seems kind of fun. It's like, I got this goal I'm trying to reach. Let me get some focused work in. Let me cook up some content. Let me go hit a quick workout. Let me get my body right? That stuff is actually going to seem pretty interesting and you're going to want to do it. So once you've dopamine detox, what you next need to do is make it a competition with yourself. You have to think of it like a game, right? Imagine that you are at, let's say, level 0, right? And you're trying to get to level 100. And every time you do one of these tasks up here, right? Learning, focused work, exercising, whatever the task is that gets you closer to your goal. Every time you complete that task, you gain 10 XP, right? And let's say you get 100 XP, then you get to level 1, right? So once you get to level 1, it takes 100 XP to get to level 1, right? Think of it like a game. Like every time you do that task, you get 10 XP. And every time you get 10 XP, you get closer to your goal of hitting level 100 or whatever your goal is. When you frame it like a game, right, you're going to be able to use this to your advantage, right? The stuff that drew you into doing these things in the first place, right? Gamifying it. It's going to make these things seem more fun, seem actually like a game. And you're going to want to do them more often. You're going to be addicted by the fact that you're constantly level up. You're going to get addicted to the fact that you're making progress to your goals. And then your new video game, your new Netflix, your new social media is just your life. It's going to be so fun. You're going to be so entranced, so interested in constant progress that you will be so hyper disciplined. You'll be so disciplined. You'll be so focused that it's going to be impossible for you not to achieve your goals. And lastly, what you want to do is prioritize action over consumption. You understand, this is not going to be an easy process, right? There are going to be times where you're going to get urges to hop back on your phone and spend a few hours scrolling, or open up Netflix or your favorite anime and just binge 24 hours straight. Or maybe you just want to hop on the game with your boys and be like, oh yeah, guys, I'm back. Let's hop on the game. You're going to spend another 5 hours doing that. You have to understand that when you get these urges, you got to ask yourself, is this getting me closer to my goal, right? Is this getting me closer to the intention that I established earlier? If not, then ask yourself, okay, if this isn't getting me closer, what will, right? If you have an intention of improving in your studies and you get the urge to start scrolling on your phone, ask yourself, is this gonna help me achieve that goal? The answer is obviously no. Then you're gonna ask myself, okay, what will get me closer to that goal? Oh, maybe I should, go over the lecture one more time. Maybe I should study the notes that I took. Maybe I should open the textbook and, read a little bit more, read into the next chapter. And then you're going to go and do that, prioritizing the action over the mindless consumption. Same goes with any other goal, right? If you're trying to scale a business, you get that urge to hop on the game. You're like, okay, is this going to help me? Answer is no. What will help me? Oh, maybe I should do more outreach. Maybe I should create some content. I should send out some emails. Maybe I should hop on some prospecting calls. Whatever the step is for you to get closer to your goal, you're obviously going to know what that is. And you're going to prioritize that action over that mindless consumption. And if you're able to understand all of this, if you're able to, efficiently start raw dogging life, I guarantee that you are going to get disciplined, but more importantly, you're going to start making consistent progress towards your goals. So Hopefully you found some value in this video. Hopefully you learned something new. And hopefully you've realized the power of boredom, the power that boredom can have over your life, and the discipline that can be achieved by mastering it. Other than that, click this video here if you want to learn something new, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.